Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's into Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2. This is our Let's Play against the Soviet AI, and you can see our tattered lines in and around Minsk. We've been working on those, trying to. I gave all kinds of different commands last time, and now we're trying to set up a true defensive line and build some fort levels. You can see down in the south, we've actually built fort levels, and that's what you need to do. Now, in both winters so far, we've been caught out trying to get points, trying to play the game instead of win the war, and because of that, we've had a hard time setting up a defensive line during the winter. You need to do that. And that's one thing that needs to happen. I hoped it would happen this winter, but we tried to get Rezev and Stalino, and here we are. So we're a little bit on the scramble, trying to build a defensive line, and then once they sit in the hex, because of their construction value, they can start to build a fort level, and those fort levels act, as all kinds of defensive modifiers that help you out. So I have changed all these commands last time for 4th Army in the blue, 9th Army in the green, and 2nd Army down here in the pink and purple. I think I've got most of those straightened out the way that I want them. Now we're going to have to kind of uh, adjust a little bit on the fly because we have divisions back here hopefully rebuilding. One thing that was brought up in the comments, which is actually a very good point, is that really we should have a core, and here's one like 35th Corps, and assign these rebuilding units to that core. Why would you do that? But they're back here to the back, why do they even need a command, etc.? Well, they need to pass, or they need to, well, I guess that's right. They need to pass their administrative roles. And how does that work? Well, so when the game decides whether they get reinforcements, replacements, whether they get food, whether they get fuel or bullets, etc., it goes to their core commander, if they have one, first. And based on, and let's just go to the 35th here, this is von Nobelsdorf, based on this admin score, now he's only a 5, it will test on a 10-sided die roll whether he passes those administrative rolls to see if they get some of that stuff. Now, just because he fails one doesn't mean they don't get anything. They get a minimum base level. It's a very complicated formula, but the basic idea is he's got to pass these dice rolls for them to get their full complement. If he misses a few, they're not going to get everything, okay? And why would you want to do it at the core level? Well, the way that this game works is that at the core level, it's a 10-sided die up against his, whatever it's testing against, that generalship skill. Then, if he fails it, it pops up to the next level, which is the Army command level. And here you see 2nd Army, and that is under Marks, and his score is a 6, okay? And so then it'll roll a 20-sided die compared against his 6, right? And basically, I would imagine the way that it works, if it's a 7 or above, he fails it. If it's a 6 or below, he passes it. And so you can see it gets harder as it goes up the levels, but at least gives you a backup or a secondary chance to pass it. If he fails a dice roll, it then goes up to the Army Group level. And there's Army Group Center, okay, and that's under Student. Well, Student is an A. He is indeed a student of warfare. He's an A for admin, but that, or an A, an 8. Well, it's kind of an A. Then that's a 40-sided die roll, right? And so as you go further and further away from the core, the harder it is to pass these dice rolls. Now, it does give you a higher percentage chance because, you get more rolls, and some of these are going to be an 8 or below, and you're going to pass that eventually as you go up the chain of command. It'll go all the way up to OKH, kind of by that same formula, right? So these units that I'm rebuilding out here, I assign them to 9th Army. All right, I guess I didn't think it all the way through. I assign them to the Army level. And since they're directly at the Army level, this is where the first test will come as to whether they get replacements, food, and bullets, essentially. Okay? Now, there's a little difference when they're attached directly to the higher levels. So when they're attached to a core, it goes 10-sided die, pops up to the Army level, then it's a 20-sided die, goes up to the Army group level, it's a 40-sided die. When they're directly attached to the Army level, it doesn't automatically go to a 20 and roll that. Instead, it's like a 12 or a 13-sided die. They do give you a little bit of a penalty for going straight up to the Army level. And that's one reason that you always want to be attaching divisions to cores, because you're giving them more layers of command to eventually pass. And it goes for everything, right? And so, like their infantry score, when they get in a battle, their infantry score, there's going to be all kinds of dice rolls about how they fight and how they do. You want them to go through as many levels to pass as many checks as possible. And so you want them attached down at the core level. Okay. But if you do attach them directly to the Army level, like I said, it doesn't go automatically to that 20-sided die. I can't remember if it's 12 or 13. You don't get the full penalty for going straight up to Ninth Army, but you do get a little bit of a one, more than you would get attaching to the core level. And plus, attaching at the core level, you get 3 or 4 chances instead of here, you get 2 or 3. So that's how that works. Another reason you don't want to attach directly to the Army level or the Army group level is because usually you're not going to have support units on this level. Now, that doesn't matter in the situation we're talking about here. The chances they're going to get into combat where they need support units are essentially nil. However, if you are attaching them to the Army level, let's say this guy is directly attached to 18th Army. He's not. He goes through the core, but let's just say he was. Uh, this army, 18th Army, usually you're not going to keep any support units here, right? Whereas down here at the core level, that's where we keep our support units and they can be committed to battle. But if he's directly attached to the army, he's going to get no support units because you just have none to give. And so just something to think about when you think about commands. Okay, class is over. There's the lunch bell. No, let's get going here. Now, one of the things I wanted to do when I was looking over the map, we have these 3 divisions out here. I actually think they'll be okay. I don't really think they'll get cut off. I guess anything's possible, but if something comes in here, it's a swamp hex. We'll attack that from all sides and hopefully be able to get them back and over here. So I think we should be okay there. Another thing that I noticed here, I mean, I can't move them any further now. It wouldn't really matter what I think about it. They're out here. But one thing I wanted to do is this unit here has a fort level of 0. So moving it's not going to be the biggest deal. We're not giving up a fort level. But as you can see, this is light woods. This is heavy woods. And so we want that additional defensive bonus. And so let's back these guys up 1 hex. And now, as you look down this line, we go swamp, swamp, heavy woods, heavy woods, heavy woods, swamp, and then we get into light woods right here as we go to Glubco. But I don't want to back all the way up here because these are clear. I'd rather be in light woods than clear, and I don't want them to be able to surround Glubco. So this is about as good a defensive line terrain wise as you could ever pick. And it's part of the reason I picked this. Also, we want to stay just a little bit east of Minsk here. We don't want it to be a straight line up. And plus, this terrain isn't nearly as good from a defensive perspective. So as we move down here, again, we're in the swamp there. These aren't particularly strong units, but what I'm hoping is as things get off the line and then come back, we can then take other things off the line, rebuild them, and I will take that suggestion. We'll take this 35th core, we'll set it either here on this depot or this depot, and whatever comes back, we will assign it to that core headquarters right on the depot, and hopefully rebuild those units faster. It could be that we passed the dice roll this time and it didn't really matter, but these games are all based on odds, right? And we want the best odds possible, and the best odds possible are to go through the core headquarters to make sure they get everything that you want them to get. Okay, as we come down here, again, swamp. Here we have a fort level 2 in rough. Rough is also very good defensive terrain. And so this is great. I mean, we couldn't ask for anything better unless and until we get to a fort level 3 there. I would normally scoot this back into the light woods. Here we're in the light woods, but we have a fort level 2, and let's zoom in a little bit, and I don't want to give that up. All right. I moved the motorized up here and I moved this infantry up here, and we knocked this armor unit, we routed it. We've still got the mech unit here, but in town we've got 6th Panzer Division. We're sitting, if we take the logistics off, we're sitting at a fort level 3. That looks pretty good. I think we should be able to take on any attack there. Now, unfortunately, here we're in the light woods. We're surrounded, and we know in this one stack or in this groups here, they've got about 100,000 troops. I'm almost positive these guys are going to get blown out of here. But luckily, we do have this infantry unit at least back here. And then the ones we rebuild, we're going to have to rush them down here to protect Minsk. We've also got this motorized unit that we can kind of move around. It's not the strongest motorized unit you're ever going to find, but we do still have 3 units back here at Warsaw that we can move out. Now, I'd love to use those in the south, but we may have to move those north as well. We've already moved these 2 divisions up here to the north. This line doesn't look particularly strong. We've got some fort levels that have been built up here, which is great. But back here, we've got weaker unit, or down here, I should say, we've got weaker units that haven't built up fort levels yet. And again, if you ever wonder how that works, this construction value is how they build fort levels. I can't remember the exact number you need each turn. I think it's in the 40s, maybe 46, I want to say. I know that's such a random number that that's probably correct just because I remembered it. I think you need 46 total. And so in a place where you have two, so that was 12. That's 12, and then this is 13. So it would be 25, and I think it's 46, I want to say, that will build you a fort level in one turn. But if it's 25 and then the next turn you get 25, then of course, if I'm right, if it's 46, then it would take 2 turns for you to build one fort level. That's how construction values work. How can you bump those up? Well, more construction units. But essentially, the better the unit or the bigger the unit, the more construction value they're going to have. Like you can see, this one's a pretty intact division. It's got a construction value of 35, right? But the more engineers that you have out, the better off you're going to be because they can help build fort levels. All right. This area, this is what we're into. I'm not going to back him out of here. Again, I maybe should, but I don't want to give up that fort level. And I think next turn we could either move here with the motorized or we're going to have to fight this off. I just don't want him to be back here with no fort level. These guys, we can't really move, unfortunately. I'm afraid they're going to get blown out. This is only a Luftwaffe field division. These 2 Hungarian units have like 23,000 troops total, but I don't really think they have enough against 100,000 Soviets. And so, is there anything else we could do? Well, we could triple stack Hungarians here if we give up the fort level. Um, but is that really going to matter? I mean, that's only 5,500 new troops. I think our best bet's probably just to leave them here. If we could move these guys further back here, I would. But instead, I kind of almost want him just to spend the movement points to attack there. and it's less that they can bring towards Minsk. And if we lose a couple of Hungarian units or they get routed, we're just going to have to deal with that. This is a level 2, 5,400 Hungarians and 7658 on the Germans. That's not nearly good enough. They're not going to hold out here either, even though this isn't very strong. The Hungarians just aren't very good, frankly. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. We've got 6,500 there, 11,000 here. Now that's interesting because really we've got to hold on, the direct lines into Minsk here, and you can see there's road. Out here, it's just kind of crap terrain, and we would have time to react to that. Now, we can't allow them to get on this railway, which is one of our major railways in. Let's see if all, yeah, and it's all repaired now. So well, it's kind of a roundabout way, right? Most of the freight is running up this way through Vilnius and down. But be that as it may, I mean, well, of course, we don't want them to get to this rail line right here. That could cause a real problem. We're going to have problems here in the center. I just don't see any way around it. I mean, we've got Luftwaffe field divisions and Hungarians out here. It's not going to be pretty. But what I do think I'll do is take this security unit and maybe let's move these guys. What is this? This is light woods. This is rough. That's heavy woods. Oh boy, oh boy. There's bad decisions all around, certainly. But I want this stronger unit in this hex. All right, let's go ahead and put him there. I just think it's more important to hold that. We'll stack him with the German, and then we'll take the other Hungarian unit here. And really, it'd be best to put him in like these heavy woods, but then I leave kind of a two gap there. But you know what? We may have to. We may have to because he's in such bad shape. Let's move him out and over there for now and just hope they don't go hit him. It does allow them to move through here a little bit, and I will. Can I scoot over one? One, two, three, four, five. Unfortunately, no, I can't. If I back him up, is he okay? Okay, we're going to back him off. And one of the divisions, the German divisions that we rebuild, we're going to have to get down here. Now, luckily, this is pretty defensible terrain, all things considered. So maybe that's not the worst thing. I do want to keep this here. I'm tempted to double stack them, but we don't have anything that could cover this at all, unless we move Luftwaffe field divisions up and like move all of these guys up here, but then he's just got free reign out here. We've already got problems enough with these guys. What is this hex? This is rough. That's rough. So we've got a little hill range here, and maybe that'll cause them to kind of go this way. I don't know. I'm just hoping on that. I'd like to stay in the rough there. This guy is in heavy woods. Well, we can't do much better than that, but he's up against a tank corps. That's probably not going to go well. What are we into here? This is swamp. Okay, so we're really picking the crap terrain. We go rough, heavy wood, swamp. Okay, well, great. Um, now, the AI we saw last winter is really going to go after Brest-Litovsk, and we're going to have to figure out some way to stop that. It's not readily apparent what that way is. You can see he's got a lot of strength here. We are in heavy woods there. We're in swamp there. We're in swamp there. Okay. Oof, living dangerously down here by Brest-Litovsk. We're in swamp. This is only light woods. That's only 9,000. We've got approximately 12,000 there up against a tank corps. Oof, oof, that's not good. Some of these guys may just have, we may have to move them back until we can get some German troops out here in some fashion. Okay, Excuse me. So let's take this unit. Now, I don't want him to be able to get it into us there. We've got a fort level 1, and he's 92% to a fort level 2, so he's almost certainly going to make it there. His construction value is 26, so he will. He's well, he's only 8% away from the next fort level. So, moving him doesn't seem very appealing. Maybe down here in the south we'll work backwards. Let's do that. I like to do that sometimes when I don't know what the hell to do because we just don't have great options. Okay, let's go from the Crimea and move north. These guys haven't moved. They're not going to move. They've actually kind of gotten a little better. We'll turn that to ready. He's actually on unready with 6,500 troops. Okay, we'll take this guy off refit. He's ready. So, we've got 12,000, almost 19,000 when you put those two together, about 25,000, a little more than 25,000 troops. They got a little food this time, so they're eating. That's a positive. This first guards, if that rebuilds at all, that's a pretty decent unit. He's unready now, but this has got to stay here. We can't let him cross the Kerch, and so stay here he will. 5th Romanian Corps is not commanding anything. We're going to put it on the boats. To the boats we go. Okay, for now, we'll just leave him right here on this boat. There we go. Because this guy's going to get off the ship, and then we're going to move him out of the way. We'll get him over here on the railway. All right, in case we can put him on the reserves, and then we can move this boat all the way in then to the port, and done. Now this Romanian army, I've gone back and forth and back and forth. He's only got 47% food and 36% bullets, but he's already set up as a city fort. Attached to the city fort. No, we don't want to do that. We could do that in Pskov with the Finns. That's something we haven't talked a lot about. It's something that is kind of new to this game, where you can set up these city forts, but obviously we're not doing it here. This unit is going to come across and go to this port, get off, and try to help. It is another 10,000 mouths to feed, but we just removed 4,000. And we need a unit up here that's, oh gosh, well, we got hit by something out here and lost 1,400 men. Yay. All right, we're off to a great start. So the transports got hit. You saw that pop up there, 14,000 men. Look, we could run air interdiction out here and whatnot, but I don't know if that actually affects whether your transports get hit. Sorry, I just don't know the answer to that. Second rail. Why are you out here? Let's look at the rail situation. Did he rebuild it? Yeah, the secondary rail already rebuilt it into town, except right here, and then it'll rebuild next time. Okay, that's fine. This unit can move one. Can it even move one? Oh, get the rail off there. Yeah, he can get into the port. We'll get him out next time. That's another 2,600 men we'll take out. 4th Romanian Army is kind of the head army over here. He's also got units way over here. We could take them out of his command. Let's do that. And put them under Romanian High Command. I'm just going to do that because I'm probably going to send them to the reserves anyway. So let's just put those on Romanian High Command for now. All right, done and done. Why does he still have a back to 3rd Romanian Army? No. Oh, this unit's in 3rd Romanian Army? Oh, he's in 5th Corps. Well, he's not in command anyway. We may as well just put him directly into 4th Romanian Army. All right, now he's got the the best command we can find for him. We've got him on supply priority 0. Let's just actually make that a 2 like everybody else out here. I was kind of starving these guys out because I didn't care, which is evil stuff. 8th Italian Army's here, Kempf Detachment. That's another 15,000 men. I'm not sure we need this over here, or if we do, this guy is going back to, yeah, he's out of OKH's range, so he really needs to go back to Kimph. Shit though, that God, that's a lot. He's also, Kimph is out of range for OKH. Could we put him in Army Group what? He could go under Antonescu. Do I want to give him to Romanian Command? No. Army Group B, that's going to be too much, I think. Actually, that's not true. This guy is now at 13 of 9. We need to fix that, really. Um, but he could go to Kempf. Okay, let's do that. Well, let's look at the commander for Kempf first. Who is this? This is Herzog, 7656. That's plenty good enough for the Crimea. All right, let's put him in there. So we'll put this in Kimpf. This will help them pass some administrative roles as well. Sure, we'll leave that orange. Why not? So now he's part of that, and then Kempf with his, he's got 13 of 27. Let's check out where we could put him. Army Group Antonescu, no. Army Group B, this tells you the range over here. Well, he needs to be within 90. Um, Army Group Dawn, we could put him in Army Group Dawn and he's in range. Or Army Group A, which has absolutely nothing in it right now. Because Army Group B is getting built up a little bit. We could put some other. What did I do with Army Group A? Where is it? It's up in this area somewhere. There it is. Army Group A. We could put some of this up here in Army Group A. Oh gosh, we've got von Klug up here too. Hell of a general. Good infantry general. Let's do that. So let's put Kempf in Army Group B, which is just across the way here. All right. So in he goes to Army Group B. And then when we look at 17th Army up here, let's put that in Army Group A. And we'll move Army Group A up this area. Oh, okay, get out of here. Well, we also have Army Group Dawn here. Um, but man, von Klug, you don't want him just sitting around. Who's in charge of Army Group Dawn? Von Kleist, another great general. I would like to demote these guys down, get them on the line. They've been naturally bumped up as people have died or been replaced. Okay, well, let's get this up here. And I actually may put them down into core headquarters because it would be much better to have them passing dice rolls at that 10 range, right? Instead of all the way up here at the 40 dice roll level where their good generalship matters a lot less. Okay, so Army Group Dawn has 38. You can see its core headquarters. Well, that's directly attached because it's an Italian unit. Here's a core, 11th Corps. Oh, sorry, this was on 17th Army. Let's go to Army Group Dawn. There we go. He's got 20 of 27. This is going directly back to that. Let's put this in 17th Army. All right, so 17th Army right now is here, here, and here. If he adds this guy, that's another 6. That's perfect. All right, so this headquarters will go into 17th Army. All right, that gives them another layer of that dice roll. And 17th Army could move up here a little bit, maybe to Lusk. Sure. So let's move him up here to Lusk. If we look at the logistics at Lutsk, let's create a depot there. No railway there, but that's all right. And let's make that just a 3 because we do have a 4 out here. So if it does get anything, we want it to pass. Oh, yeah, that's on the railway. Okay, I was like, shit, did I just build that someplace with no railway. It's there. I guess I could have done this at Convertsy. Nope, no rail yard there. Sure, whatever. It'll get a little bit of freight, or it should. As we're looking at this up here, I probably will take that attack. The Hungarians, I think, are going to have to drop back, which means he's going to have to hinge around, or we're going to have to bring something from Warsaw, one of these infantry divisions, right up in here, because it's just getting out of hand now. And if he gets all the way to Brest-Litovsk, we're in really, really bad shape. He did last winter, but it was kind of right at the end, and we were able to very quickly then, surround everything out there. Okay, back to the Crimea we go. And if we look at, where did that go? Sixth Army back to Army Group B. He's now at 112 to 108. So what we'll do is put Army Group A into, oh, I'm sorry, 17th Army into one of these two. Maybe Army Group A, and then whatever else he has, maybe we'll put into Army Group A as well, because von Klug is just too good to let sit around. Now, as I said, von Kleist is very, very good as well, but I think I may move him down to an army or a corps command. Um, okay, so 17th Army will go back to Army Group A, and we'll start to kind of reconstitute Army Group A here. Okay, he's got his guys. Why is it showing? Sometimes we get these really weird. Yeah, these guys are all the way back to 17th Army. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and we're going to have to fix that. Or, well, how far out are they now? Yeah, these are those core headquarters that we're not using for anything. 0 of 9, 0 of 9. We'll probably move them up and do much the same thing I talked about with 35th, that as things rebuild, we'll set these core headquarters on depots and let them all rebuild, on top of that core headquarters. But I'll deal with that as we get around here. So we've got the Kimpf detachment army out here. It's an Army Group B. That's all good. Does it have support units? It's got a Panzerjäger and a light flak. Nope, it can't get support units over here. Well, okay. I mean, we didn't have support units that were, uh, able to be picked down here anyway. In the reserve corps, we do have some. So out at the corps level, we've already got two Stugs, a Panzerjäger. We've got anti-aircraft, artillery. These are the infantry divisions attached to it, and the mountain infantry. We're overstacked for this unit. Um, you can see its commands here, but we'll change that soon. These guys, are under his command. I'm going to keep all of this the exact same for a turn, but I am going to take. Okay, so 3rd Romanian Army is in charge of that. Could I put this over into 4th? I could. Okay, so let's put this into 4th Romanian Army. Done. Okay, and then on the boat, we'll put 3rd Romanian Army because he's got no command now. Get him over here. Let him sit there for a second while we recalibrate. There we go. Oh, well, he can go straight in. There we go. Now we've got 3. This 7th Romanian Corps, 5th Romanian Corps. Okay, let's take him off the ship. Take him off the Oh, he doesn't have enough. He just got here. And then 3rd Romanian Army, well, he doesn't have enough either. You need 133. Okay. Um, the one unit that did get off the ship, can he move? Yeah, he can get over here. All right, let's take a look at these units. He's already moved, so we couldn't put him on the reserves. 2nd Italian Corps, we have that Italian cavalry that's way north that doesn't have a command. Maybe we could use this for that. Put him on the train. You see right there, I'm going to try to bring more Italians in here. Let's take him all the way to Brest-Litovsk. So we'll put that. 2nd Corps, is he even decent? No. We'll probably have to change that command. Is it worth it for one unit? Probably not. If we get more units up there, we got to remember to change the command. I say to you as if you're in charge of it. Second core here. Does he have any support units? He does. I already turned this off and unlocked, right? Or yeah, un unlocked this, so these can move back up the chain. He is part of 17th Army. Who is this? Okay, von Langerman, we'll call him. He's not a particularly good general. He's only got a 5 dismissal cost, though. I'm going to put this. Oh, I cannot put him back in the reserves. Okay, good to know. Italian units. This Italian unit needs to rebuild, obviously. Oh, let's do this. Now let's go back and check this. Can we do it? Nope. Oh, yes, we can. Transfer unit. There it is. It was over here. Usually it would show up here. Axis reserves, off he goes. All right, and we'll have another core back there. The Italians, what is their TOE? Oh, that withdraws on turn 90. Good to know. We don't really want this to rebuild then. Not necessarily. We can't disband it, which is unfortunate. I would like to just disband it. Can we do it if we get on the railway? Let's move him there. Transfer. We can only put it back in the reserves. Well, okay. I'm going to do that. Move him back. This mountain unit, let's put him there. Can we disband this guy? Nope. But we'll put him back in the reserves. And when we bring him out, we'll bring him out at Warsaw. They'll come out at Warsaw, and we'll move them right up in front of Brest-Litovsk there to try to help the Hungarians if we can. We can't send him out. Here's another Romanian group. Okay, disband unit. Uh, This may be one we could disband, but we've got plenty of Romanian replacement troops. I'm going to actually just put him back in the reserves for now. I may decide to disband him later. First Romanian Corps, let's transfer him back into the Axis reserves. This is fourth Romanian Corps. Whoops. Yeah. This we cannot move back. Is he not on the railway? Let's move him right there. Transfer unit now? Nope, we can't. Hmm, weird. I've got them on a supply priority 0. These guys are starving to death. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop doing that. Let's put the Romanians back on a 2. So now I'm doing that at Romanian High Command, so all Romanians are going to be at a 2. Uh, they're not the best troops, but let's not starve them to death. I have a conscience. Put him on the rail for next time. These guys will get off the ships next time down at Constanta. This is actually working out quite well. Look at all of this freight that they're getting down here as a super depot. So we received 25,000 tons. Now the problem is stored 21,000. We sent out 37,000. Well, they're supplying some other things around here, right? Let's go 8. They're going depot to depot, but that's okay. I mean, we've got so many units down here in the south, and they are going across here to Sevastopol. And if we go over that, this time we received 6,660. Whoa, devilish. We stored some, and we sent out like 2,900 tons. So that's really good. That's much better. And the natural capacity here is 60,000. So we didn't even need that FBD over here to super depot it. It already is sort of a super depot. Now, the super depot, well, that's not 100% true. This attracts freight, right? But for capacity purposes, we didn't need headquarters here or anything else. It's already got maximum capacity. But if you're going port to port, it doesn't act really as a super depot magnet. But this is working out, and as we thin the herd here, I think we may actually get these son of a guns supplied. Now, I would love it if it was actually running up the railway, but this is a 4, so it won't send it out. And I keep going back and forth about that. But now that we have this as a super depot, we're going to try this for a turn. I'm going to make that a 2. I'm going to make this a 3. All right. I'll keep that a 3, 3, 3. Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to make these 2s so they're not receiving any freight. I want it to all go into Sevastopol, but I want it to go up the rail. All of this rail is repaired, so it should go up the rail to these depots. But because it was a 4, it's not passing it along. So I'm going to crank it down to a 3 for a turn and see if that works better, right? Hopefully that'll help our trucks out over here. I'll keep that as a 3. And now that that is higher than Constanta, it's possible Constanta may send a little freight there. We'll see. I think that's the best way to set it up. If it doesn't work, we'll change it right back next time and turn that back into a 4. But as it is, Costanta should be sending this out to a 3. But I do think we need to level this back then to a 2 so it doesn't send it here, right? Um, I've only got that as a 1. Well, we can't get to it. That's part of the problem. This guy's a 4. He's not getting. I do not want Costanta to be sending. Oh, shit. What I'm afraid of, though, you can see all of the depot to depot Constanta's sending out. I'm afraid all of these guys are going to gobble it up as 4s from Costanta. We just can't okay, well, sorry. I'm going to change that back. We can't afford that we don't get freight out here for a turn just because I'm trying to figure out how it'll send it out. So I am going to knock that back to a 4. If we only get it by driving trucks the length of the Crimea, that's not perfect, but it's better than where we were a minute ago. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. This guy, let's go back to the boats. Ooh, I don't know if he can get off there. I don't think he's going to have enough. Yeah, he needs 142. Well, he can get off the boat next time. Let's turn the logistics part of this off. Okay, so over there he goes. Is there anything else back here I need to do? I don't think so. We haven't had any new troops that have activated. No Hungarians or Italians have shown up over here. I guess the Slovaks have their high command is on red alerts back here, but we haven't really had to deal with that at all of this is pretty okay. I mean, we'll go through it here. These rail construction are out here. They're about to link this up, which is great. We still have 6th Army sitting here. It's still in Army Group B. Army Group B is here. Let's see what else is in Army Group B. Why is he at 108 of 108? Well, is he directly attached to this unit? No, that's to 7th Romanian. What's he got? 8 of 9. What's he got? 6 of 9. I do want him to come into this sector, though. Well, we'll deal with that when he gets off the boat. What else is back to Army Group B? The 8th Italian Army. Well, that doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Um, I would rather it go to the Germans, right? But, hmm, I'm going to have to move either Army Group A or Army Group Dawn down here. Probably Army Group Dawn makes more sense, right? That should really be what's down here anyway. Uh, okay, okay. Let's go back to move. I'm going to leave that as it is because Army Group B is still okay. He's at 108. So I keep clicking over here thinking he's here, but it's not. He's got that unit. He's got, oh, why is it coming all the way out here? I think that's a phantom one. That's like a phantom line because I don't know why that would be coming all the way. This one of these blue lines, that's totally a phantom line out to here. None of that is under command, his command. Okay, well, good to know. We've got 4th Panzer Army here, Army Group B. We've got this as a super attractive depot. That's what we want. We've got a lot of mouths to feed here. Let's look down here. 34th Corps. Okay, who's in the lead there? That is Grossner, 765 and 7. That looks pretty good. Support units. He could use another heavy cannon or howitzer. Let's go get him something. Okay, let's get him the howitzer. Now here in Odessa is a place we could oh my gosh, this withdraws at turn 90. That is 5 turns away. Well, he's got to sit here for now, but got to pay attention to that. Hmm, interesting. Okay, well, good to know. Change the unit status. Ready. It's not allowing us to do a city fort setup here. Why is that? We're in a fort level 3. We're in Odessa. Interesting. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Uh, Otherwise, we've got this motorized. It's going to withdraw. Good to know. Glad I just saw that. Um, we've got these 3 infantry divisions. They're all in pretty bad shape, really. They aren't looking great. We could set them to static so that they use up less supply. I'm not sure what's going to happen down here. It's something that I haven't done a whole lot in this game, but if you're just going to sit someplace, setting it to static makes sense. 7th Flieger, that's fine. It's going back to 44th Corps, which in turn then is going back to 6th Army. That's okay. We've got Martinic out here. He's a 765 and a 7 on the ground. He's got 3 cannon, a lot of flak. Okay, that's fine. Stug, Pioneer, Construction. We could also directly attach, since we have a fort level 3 here. Why don't we directly attach? He's already got a Pioneer battalion in here. That's part of the reason that they got the fort level up so high. Let's take that Pioneer battalion out, and we'll use that someplace else to try to build a fort level. But let's also and we do have these heavy Panzer battalions. I am going to put them on the map once it begins to thaw. I'm not going to do it during the winter, but let's put something in here, maybe a Stug battalion that goes directly into that infantry. Perfect. Okay, let's do that. And they get a bonus here because it's in a fort level 3 as well. 7th Flieger, okay, he's in a fort level 2. Fairly strong, 9660, not bad. We could also, if we look at those support units again, we could put in some flak directly in here, a Stug directly in here, some Pioneers if we want to get that up to a 3 faster. What's his construction value? Let's check it out. It's 35. He's already building pretty fast. If we look over here, these guys should build really fast, except they're worn down, so their construction value is less. That's an 8. 13, so it's 21 and 10, 31. That's not bad. Every other turn we're building a fort level to a level 3. You're really not going to go above that anyway. We've got the Hungarian armor here stacked with one of these infantry divisions. I mean, it's not ideal, but he's got a lot of strength right here, so I think that's fine. We've got the Slovaks back here in reserve, so that's all good. Our other command here is 41st Panzer Corps under Reinhardt. He's all 7s down the board, including a 7 on the mech. If we look at his support units, he's got 3 and 3. He's got Stug. He's got Construction. He's got Werfer. I think that all looks fine. Um, who is he commanding? This tank, the Hungarians, and this motorized. That's what he has. He's got 7 of 9 because it costs 3 to command not your nationality, essentially. So he's commanding Hungarians. That costs 3, but he's fine. Okay, so any of the motorized that we have over here, he's got, not the Slovaks. They're commanded here. This is 14th Panzer Corps. That's under Naring, 876 with the 7. Naring should have his sport units, cannon, motorized mixed flak. He doesn't have an abundance of them. And we've got, stuff back here we could give him, certainly. Let's throw. I don't see a lot of armor here. I was looking at this Panzerjäger. He's already got a Werfer. We could give him a Stug. We could give him another howitzer, or we could give him the heavy panzers if we wanted to get crazy, or this just panzer battalion. Not seeing a ton of armor in this area. It looks like he's massed his armor here, for one thing. So maybe we give that panzer battalion to 46th Panzer Corps. That's von Wettenghoff, 76607. What all does he have? He's got a recon battalion, Panzer Recon Battalion. He's only got 2 howitzer. He's not in great shape. Let's give him the Panzer Battalion. Let's give him uh let's give him this howitzer battalion. Okay. Let's give him a light flak and a motorized mix flak. That's pretty good. I'll give him this Nebelwerfer battalion as well, the SS one. Okay, wow, now he's got a lot. Make sure that's motorized. Yeah, it's motorized. Just wanted to make sure. What about the howitzers? I want to make sure motorized. Things in the first game weren't nearly as motorized as they are in this game. Okay, everything's motorized there. Uh, okay, he's got a lot more support units now, so that's good. He's commanding 10 of 9. We'll have to look at that as we come along here. Back to where we were. Okay, let's look at 4th Corps. That's Heim. Terrible general. We've got to get rid of Heim and 4th. This just came in here when we did, we took somebody else. And that's Mech. Von Sanger, Unetter. He's pretty good. But we're looking for infantry. 6. Now I had talked about moving somebody else down here, but it's hard to move them down commands. So they're not even going to be available. Yeah, it's only from the core level can we pick here for 4th. Von Bueno looking good in 55th Corps. Sixes, sevens. I mean, any of these guys are going to be better than what I just looked at. Von Sanger Unetter, though, I mean, he's better mech. I want to keep these guys that are pretty good mech. I want to keep them available. How about Hase? We replaced him. Remember, we put him in. That's only going to cost 5 points. Let's put Hase in here. Excellent infantry general. Um, and if we look at this, let's look at him again. You can see here a 7, but he's 866 and a 7. That's a great general to have right down here. Does he have his support units? He's got howitzers, motorized mixed flak, pioneers, construction, Werfer. I could give him a Stug. Let's do that out of Army Group B. Okay. And yes, I'm hanging on those heavy panzer battalions. I know we're in a critical situation, but ultimately, I don't want to put them out here in the middle of the winter. Um, all right, so that goes back there. This goes here. This goes here. He's on reserve. All right. This motorized is just sticking its nose in here. I mean, I don't love that situation. Like I said, okay, Naring's 9 of 9. That's good. And then if we look at Hase, he's 10 of 9. It's just going to have to be what it is. Infantry. Where does this go back all the way here? He's got these units, this unit. He's only 6 of 9. And I gave him this unit. Does that make sense? Martinic? Not sure. 8 of 9 and 51st Corps. Well, that all looks good. And we've got another unit here, but he could go back to the reserves, and I can actually give this to 51st. Who's in charge of 51st Corps? Very good. Schultz, sevens down the board. We like that. And he needs artillery support. Let's give him the heavy howitzer. I want to put more in there. He's out here near some tanks. Let's give him Panzerjägers. Let's also, those guys need to rebuild before we move them out here. Light, 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 light. I'll give him a light flak. Let's give him a light flak. Do I give him the Stug? Does he already have one? Let's go back here. He does not. So I've given him the Panzerjäger. He's got two mixed, two light flak, mixed artillery, heavy. I'd like him to have three artillery, but I do think I'll give him the Stug as well. Let's get all this stuff out here, get it on the map. We need every bit of it that we can get. All right. And so he's at 8 of 9, but this is going to go back. 5th Mountain Division. Let's. Now, this is the situation we were talking about, right? We have an open core here. Now, he is completely out of command, but he doesn't have to be. What's 6th Army look like? Wow, he's oversubscribed. Shoot, 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 shoot. I moved 17th all the way north. We're going to have to put. What about the Panzer armies? 4th Panzer's at 26. What's 1st Panzer look like? Find out. Just go to one of the Corps headquarters and then it'll trace the orange line back. There's 1st Panzer. He's at 28 of 27. All right. Well, we've got a little command problem there, but this guy, he's going straight to Army Group Dawn. We should have him go to 17th Army. Oh, he's at 26 of 27, but he's commanding these guys down here. He's now got this core, this core, this core, this core, and the two unused core headquarters. Okay. Well, this looks like a good one to figure out offline to get these straightened out. 17th Army now has its full complement. 6th Army is now over. He's at 32 of 27 under Hilpert. It's a very good infantry general as well. Um, I'm going to take a look at this and get this straightened out the best I can. Some may have to go up to one of the army groups. I don't want it to work that way, but some may have to just to get these things down. I mean, you start to take a big penalty the more you overstack these, and we can't really turn one into an assault army not right now. But anyway, we're on the hour mark, so I'm going to call this quits. I wanted to get this done so when we come back on Tuesday, we can turn the turn. And we should be close to doing that. More fun to do that during the live streams than watch me figure out commands. But anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time. Have a great one.